Welcome to the popular WWE Raw booking with my brain, my sense, my plans, what I would do if I was in charge of Monday Night Raw, how I would write the show, how I would do the show. And once again, if this video gets enough comments, likes, views, shared on Facebook and Twitter, especially WWE's Twitter, WWE's Facebook, I will continue to do this as long as it's supported, liked, shared, commented. As long as the interaction is there. And once again, I want you to tell me if you agree with my booking, if you like my booking, if you think I should change some things, if you think it's dull, if you think it's boring, if you think it's mediocre, if you think it's worse than what Raw is putting on in 2017. I want to hear your comments, whether positive or negative. Your feedback is appreciated. Now, these videos are going to be a lot longer than my usual rumors and news videos in WWE because this takes a lot of thought and process. And as a matter of fact, I went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 pages chock full of my ideas, my scenarios, my storytelling, and my booking for this Monday's Raw, where Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar are going to be under the same roof at the same time. So let's get right into my booking if I were on the creative team. We know how Monday Night Raw usually opens with the usual opening Raw video montage, right? The video package. Well, this time it kicks off with Brock Lesnar arriving backstage with Paul Heyman, and then we go to the Raw video package. And then after the Raw video package is played, we then see a limo pull up. Now, this is, remember, after the fact that Lesnar is already in the building. We see a limo pulling up. Now, we're all thinking it's Samoa Joe. So Brock Lesnar then destroys the limousine, destroys the windows, with a baseball bat. Brock Lesnar goes to town in this limousine because we're all suspecting that Samoa Joe is in this limousine. Lesnar rips the door off the limo, only to reveal that Big Cass is in the limo talking to somebody that we could not see their face. So Brock Lesnar obviously looking on, and he looks a little puzzled. Brock Lesnar looks a little confused. Brock Lesnar obviously irate, his emotions getting the better of him, thinking that it was, Samoa Joe in the limousine, but it was not Samoa Joe. Then it appeared as if Big Cass was actually seen paying off somebody, giving money to somebody. Now, who was this somebody? What was happening? And then all of a sudden, the limousine backs up because the tires weren't taken out. Even though the limousine was destroyed, the limousine backs up and gets the hell out of Dodge. So we're all left wondering now because, and I'm playing with this Big Cass role because we all know that there is a unknown assailant, some unknown star or a person that has been on the attack of both Cass and Enzo for several weeks. So now, why was Big Cass in the limousine? So once again, we're gonna, I'm gonna try and make this booking to where, why did I do this, and what gives us a reason to want to tune in to see more. So this gives us the question about why was Enzo in the limousine and who was he paying off? Who was in the limo with Enzo? So once again, I try to raise questions at the end of my storylines. Up next, we get Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins, but there wasn't much of a match here, as Seth Rollins absolutely destroyed and obliterated Bray Wyatt with a steel chair as revenge as to Seth Rollins being screwed over last week in his match with Samoa Joe. So the match ends in a DQ. Bray Wyatt gets the victory, but Bray Wyatt doesn't look much of a victor after Rollins absolutely broke the steel chair over Bray Wyatt. Now, Rollins has that steel chair in hand, right? Rollins is getting the better of the situation. Rollins is in control. All of a sudden, Bray Wyatt and the lights go off. Bray Wyatt's mind games. Bray Wyatt's, maybe Sister Abigail. Is Sister Abigail going to be seen? All of a sudden, the lights come back on, and Seth Rollins is laid out in the middle of the ring with a steel chair over his chest. How did that happen? Who attacked him? Who was behind it? Well, we know Bray Wyatt had something to do with it, but was there someone else? How does Rollins go from being in such an intense way to all of a sudden destroyed and laid out? Especially after Bray Wyatt, was taken out of the ring with the chair due to the attack and due to the overall presence of what Seth Rollins brought, and then Seth Rollins just gets destroyed by who knows what. I don't know. So now you also have to counter into commercial breaks because we start the show off at 8 o'clock. Now we're into the 8:15, 8:18 time frame. You got to wonder, not wonder, but you have to also take into account that WWE likes to show a lot of replays during the night. They like to go to commercial break a lot. So that's you have to counter in commercial breaks to my booking, all right? At 8:21, okay, after a commercial break, Enzo is trying to get a hold of Big Cass on a cell phone to figure out why Big Cass was in a limousine paying off someone, and why was he paying off someone? What was he thinking? What was he doing? Then Big Cass does not pick up the cell phone. He does not pick up the call of Enzo. So, however, Kurt Angle would then come into the picture, and Kurt Angle approaches Enzo, and was asking Enzo if he won this, if the same person that is trying to ruin Kurt Angle's reputation is the same person that's trying to take out Enzo and Cass. So Enzo and Kurt Angle now are looking at each other like, maybe there's something here. Maybe there's something to this. Now that lasts from around 8:21 to 8:24, where Angle and Enzo are backstage interacting, wondering if the same person that's after Angle is after Enzo. Up next, Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss are on Miz TV. The Miz, the brand new Intercontinental Champion. This segment lasts from around 8:25 to 8:40. And after a exchange on the mic between The Miz and berating, Nia Jax, and then Alexa Bliss getting her 2 cents in, Bliss out of nowhere would spray some kind of foreign spray into the eyes of Nia Jax, and that would obviously disrupt her vision. Then Nia Jax gets taken out by the legs by Alexa Bliss, and then Alexa Bliss would promptly knock out Nia Jax with the Raw Women's Championship. So Nia Jax got knocked down to Alexa Bliss's size during this Miz TV segment. But as The Miz is watching and looking on at the actions of Alexa Bliss, all of a sudden Dean Ambrose has some spraying of his own. As The Miz is looking on and adoring what Alexa Bliss has done to Nia Jax, it would be a fire extinguisher where he would take off the hotness. Dean Ambrose with a fire extinguisher, spraying it at both Maurice and The Miz. So the Maurice and The Miz getting out of dodge in this segment. So you kill 2 birds with 1 stone in the Miz TV segment because, Dean Ambrose still is entitled to a match for the Intercontinental Championship. So that around 8:44, we don't see Samoa Joe, but we get a Twitter update from Samoa Joe. Now, the reason behind Samoa Joe not wanting to be seen or interviewed is because he wants to get in the zone. He's in deep thought. He's in deep conscious, and that's why he's taken to Twitter, because he doesn't want anyone interviewing him. He doesn't want anyone seeing him because he's getting in the zone for Brock Lesnar later on tonight. So Samoa Joe takes to Twitter, and he types the following on Twitter. He says, "Tonight, you will see a side of Brock Lesnar you never thought existed." So once again, that keeps you compelled and intrigued to tune into the show to see if Samoa Joe can really make us see a side of Brock Lesnar we never saw or witnessed. So, that gets you into tune to what's happening. So around the 8:50 point to around 9 o'clock, we get a 10-minute triple threat match between Neville, Mustafa, and TJP, where, once again, Neville continues his winning ways, picking up the win over Mustafa. Then from 9:05, remember, once again, you got to counter in commercial breaks. Please share this video on Facebook and Twitter. Donate to my Patreon if you would like your shoutouts. Because if you want your shoutouts, all you can do is comment, share, subscribe, or like my video. Finn Balor was then seen backstage talking to Kurt Angle. Finn Balor says he wants to show he's not lost a step and that he wants to win gold on Raw. Angle informs Balor to find a tag team partner and you might find gold. Because tonight I'm pairing you up in a tag team match, but it's your responsibility to actually find a partner. I'm putting you in a tag match, but you got to find a tag team partner that wants to be on your side and go against Cesaro and Sheamus with the Raw tag team titles on the line tonight. And obviously, Finn Balor said, "I'm up for that. I'm all man." So then, as this is going on, Kurt Angle gets another anonymous text message. We don't know what's going on. We don't know who's behind this. Kurt Angle gets another text on his cell phone, and Kurt Angle looks very shocked. At this point, Corey Graves walks away from the announcer's position like he's been doing the last few weeks, because it seems like Corey Graves has a hand in this somehow, and I don't know why Kurt Angle keeps going to him. So then Corey Graves walks backstage to meet Kurt Angle and talk about whatever text message he just received that shocked Kurt Angle. Up next, we got Paul Heyman being interviewed backstage alongside Brock Lesnar, and Heyman says that this will be a very uncomfortable night for someone. And Heyman says we all know who that someone is that he is referring to. So Heyman lays that out, assuming that it's Samoa Joe. So that goes from around 9:13 to 9:15. Then we got Big Cass, who finally comes back to the arena. Now this is around the 9 o'clock hour. From around 9:17 to 9:25, we get a match with Big Cass versus The Big Show. And Big Cass defeats The Big Show in impressive fashion. But it would not end there, as Big Cass would add salt to the wound of The Big Show and attack The Big Show after the match. Referees and officials trying to get Cass off The Big Show. Ultimately, it did not help. It did not do anything. So finally, Enzo comes out. Now Enzo tries to turn around Big Cass, but Big Cass would elbow Enzo right in the head, not suspecting that it was Enzo. He thought it was a ref. He thought it was an official. So obviously Enzo was shooken up, and Cass played it off like he didn't know it was Enzo. It was a mistake. He didn't mean to do it. Enzo is very visibly mad and shooken up after this, and Enzo now looking at Big Cass like, what's going on here? What's changed you? What's gotten into you? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing these antics? And Big Cass just chalks up to it was a mistake. I didn't mean to do it. My emotions got the best of me. Now we go backstage. Now that lasted from around 9:26 to 9:30, the post-match beatdown of the Big Show, and then Enzo getting in the ring. Then 9:35, backstage we see Finn Balor, and he says the partner that he has chosen, it may not be the most popular choice, but it is a very solid and definitive choice, and they will take the tag team titles tonight. So at 9:45 to around 9:55, we get Alexa Bliss defeating Mickie James. It was a valiant effort. It was a valiant try, but Mickie James not on the level of Alexa Bliss. And then as the match is over, Alexa Bliss, basking in the glory, Alexa Bliss milking her win. And then Nia Jax's music hits. As soon as Nia Jax's music hits, Alexa Bliss gets out of the ring, goes through the crowd, and gets the hell out of the way because she did not want no part of Nia Jax after what Alexa Bliss had done earlier in the night. Now, see how I follow up? See how there's a follow-up to my situations and my storylines and my matches and my predicaments? A lot of it may be cool, it may be good. Some of it you may want to look a little bit more into, but we'll follow this up. At 10 p.m., Sheamus and Cesaro defend the Raw Tag Team titles against Finn Balor and his partner, Roman Reigns. Now, as Roman Reigns and Finn Balor are closing in on winning this match and winning the Raw Tag Team titles from Cesaro and Sheamus, it would be Braun Strowman that would turn the tides. Braun Strowman out of nowhere, who knows where he came from the left of our screen, the right of our screen, takes Roman Reigns out of the ring, presses him up over his head, and slams Roman Reigns outside the ring. But he doesn't stop there. He would then throw Roman Reigns into the steel steps. Doesn't stop there. Roman Reigns crawling, trying to get out of there, trying to go up the ramp. Roman Reigns then pressed over Braun Strowman's head again and thrown off the stage into the tech area where there's a bunch of tables and wires, and all of a sudden, everything goes up, electricity, the things blow up. Roman Reigns, we don't know. He might have been electrocuted, for all we know. Roman Reigns just picked apart, destroyed, decimated by Braun Strowman. So Braun Strowman ruining a tag team championship match. This is now the second title that Roman Reigns has gone for, where he has got screwed over by Braun Strowman. Remember earlier in the year, Roman Reigns was closing in on defeating Kevin Owens with the Universal title on the line, only for Braun Strowman to wreck that. So Braun Strowman wreaking havoc, Braun Strowman returns. And then, ladies and gentlemen, in the final segment, and we're going to carry this one out from 10:30 to 11 o'clock. You know how Raw always goes over 11. It's supposed to end at 11, but it goes to 11:05, 11:10, 11:15. We're going to end this thing right at 3 hours, right at 11 o'clock. Samoa Joe's music hits, but no Samoa Joe. Where's Samoa Joe? Why didn't Samoa Joe appear? So then Brock Lesnar would come out. His music would hit. Here comes Lesnar. Here comes Heyman. Lesnar making a beeline to the ring. Lesnar, and he's not in his, regular, promo gear. Brock Lesnar is dressed to fight. Brock Lesnar is dressed to wrestle. Brock Lesnar is in his gear, ladies and gentlemen. So, Paul Heyman goes and cuts a hell of a promo on Samoa Joe, builds up Samoa Joe, talks about how Samoa Joe, what he did last week, but it's not going to pale in comparison to what Brock Lesnar does this week. So Samoa Joe's music hits, but once again, no Samoa Joe. So now Samoa Joe is trying to get in the head of Brock Lesnar, trying to make Brock Lesnar think, trying to maybe, play some games with Brock Lesnar. So then Paul Heyman says, all right, the games and the fun stops here. This is where all the tricks stop, because we're not talking about smoke and mirrors. Brock Lesnar is going to go out there. He's going to pull you from that backstage area, Samoa Joe, and he's going to address you, and he's going to pull you and your backside out to this ring. And we know that Brock Lesnar is going to unleash the beast. So as Lesnar and Heyman walk to the ring ropes to get outside the ring to go confront Samoa Joe backstage and bring him to the ring, Samoa Joe appears on the Titantron. Samoa Joe appears on the screen. Now, early tonight, something I forgot to mention. Samoa Joe took to Twitter again, and I apologize, I forgot about this. Samoa Joe took to Twitter before this segment and said that he vows to make Brock Lesnar go to his knees. Brock Lesnar, we're going to see a side of Brock Lesnar we never thought existed. Brock Lesnar would be on his knees. Brock Lesnar would be pleading. Brock Lesnar, once again, we'd see a whole nother side of Brock Lesnar. So Samoa Joe gets on the screen, and Samoa Joe arrives at Brock Lesnar's hotel. And what's on the hotel of Brock Lesnar and on the on the door of Brock Lesnar? Not only does it say Brock Lesnar, but it says Sable. Now, we all know Brock Lesnar and Sable are together. We know that they're a couple. Sable used to be in the WWE. That is his wife. So obviously Brock Lesnar's looking on shocked. Brock Lesnar looking like, what the hell are you doing? Are you for real? So Samoa Joe, then rubs some salt to the wound, and he's telling Brock Lesnar, if you don't want me to go inside that hotel room, all you gotta do is get on your hands and knees and beg and plead and moan and cry and show that you're human and show that you have heart and show that you have emotion. So obviously Brock Lesnar's looking a little bit startled now. So Brock Lesnar says, don't do anything stupid. Sable has nothing to do with this. This is between me and you. This is our problem. And now, don't do this. You're going to regret this for the rest of your life, Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe says, I have no regrets. I'm a bad, bad man. I'm more bad than Brock Lesnar ever has been. And Samoa Joe's, saying this and reiterating this on the Titantron. And Brock Lesnar is now finally, says, don't do this. There's no need for this. This is going over the line. This is between me and you. And Samoa Joe says, it doesn't seem like you're pleading. It doesn't seem like you're getting on one knee. It doesn't seem like you want to protect Sable. You want to protect your investment. You want to protect your future. So then Samoa Joe goes into the room. He opens the door and Sable is now in the shower. Sable is in the shower. Of course, we can't see her because she's in the shower, but the illusion is that it's Sable in the shower, right? So Samoa Joe says, Brock, I told you, you are going to become a man tonight. We're going to show that you have emotion, that you have a heart. And Brock Lesnar finally, as Samoa Joe's about to open up the curtain, he's about to open up to see Sable and expose Sable to the world, Brock Lesnar finally gets down to one knee. Then, as Samoa Joe looks like he's going to open up the curtain a little bit more, he gets down to another knee. Okay? So now at this point, Samoa Joe's, got a smirk. He's got a smile on his face. And all of a sudden, the feed cuts out. The Titantron goes dark. It goes black. So at this point, Brock Lesnar is on his knees. And then out of nowhere, Samoa Joe comes up from behind Brock Lesnar and locks in his submission hold. And Brock Lesnar's trying to fight out of it, trying to get out of it, trying to last in it. But ultimately, Samoa Joe gets Brock Lesnar in his submission maneuver, his submission hold, and knocks Brock Lesnar out. Brock Lesnar passes out from the pain. So not only did Samoa Joe get over Brock Lesnar, going to Lesnar's hotel room, and who knows what happened. Who knows what happened when the feed cut out. Who knows what Samoa Joe may have done or not done to Sable. And then he gets fooled into thinking that was live and that was happening right then and there. And then all of a sudden the feed cuts out, and then Samoa Joe's already in the ring, attacks Lesnar from behind, puts him in his submission hold, and that's how we end Monday Night Raw with Samoa Joe choking out Brock Lesnar. So ladies and gentlemen, that is my booking, my plan, my logic, because this makes you tune into next week. Because had Lesnar just come on Raw and destroyed and picked apart Samoa Joe, there would be no story, there would be no legitimacy, there would be no credibility. We would not take Samoa Joe at face value that he would even have a chance against Brock Lesnar. But now this builds up anticipation to next week as to how is Brock Lesnar going to respond? What is Brock Lesnar going to do now that Samoa Joe has now taken apart Paul Heyman? And then this week he played tricks and mind games, thinking he was going to go into the room of Sable with Brock Lesnar, and then he would take out Brock Lesnar from behind. So once again, Samoa Joe getting one over Lesnar two weeks in a row now. So that's how we end off Monday Night Raw. Samoa Joe makes Brock Lesnar KO. Your comments and your opinions on my booking, how I would plan Raw. Do you have any better ideas? Would you go with my ideas? Share my videos on Facebook and Twitter. We're going to get back to rumors, news, and headlines in World Wrestling Entertainment. Thank you for watching. Once again, share my videos on Facebook and Twitter, and thank you for your feedback or whatever feedback may come my way. Subscribe today and have it your way on the Brash Sean's View Entertainment. Smash that bell for more, because this is what the Brash is all for.